Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Happy to share my thoughts on a special topic today, which is close to my heart. Psychological well-being. What it means? It means, in my native language, Manasik Mangal. It will be discussed in 5 steps to make it simple and easily understood. We will discuss first what is well-being, then we will discuss what is psychological well-being, how psychological well-being is important for employees and others, and how psychological well-being can be enhanced, how it can benefit the person, employer and the society. There are different aspects of well-being: physical, psychological, economic, social, spiritual, like that. Well-being generally includes presence of positive emotions like happiness, contentment, and absence of negative emotions like anxiety, depression, fear, frustration. Living a meaningful life satisfaction, happy and fulfilled life. Seligman, the most famous positive psychologist, has stated well-being as central concept of positive psychology, which is connected to eudaimonia, the good life concept. The good life reflection about what holds the greatest value in life, the factors that contribute the most to a well-lived and fulfilling life. One must live a happy, engaged and meaningful life in order to experience the good life. Martin Seligman referred to the good life as using your signature strength every day to produce authentic happiness and abundant gratification. He argued that meaningful life can be considered in different categories. And it was termed as PARMA: positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning and purpose and accomplishments. We'll discuss psychological well-being. What is psychological well-being? Psychological well-being is generally stated as one's evaluative reaction to life, either in terms of life satisfaction or emotional reaction. But traditionally, psychological well-being has been stated controlling negative outcomes like depression, anxiety, mental disorders. Over time, the term has taken a positive side. So, not only controlling the negative outcomes, rather more on controlling the or strengthening the positive side effects. Major dimensions of psychological well-being include empowerment of self-initiation, self-initiation, power in life, self-acceptance, autonomy and environmental mastery. Carol Reeves' multidimensional model of psychological well-being postulated 6 factors which are very well-known things and very important. One must learn it by heart and practice it. Self-acceptance. First is self-acceptance. You must accept yourself. You must have belief, you must have trust that you have enough confidence, that you have enough abilities to do something. And personal growth. Then purpose in life. One must have purpose in life and so do something and see and experience the personal growth. Fourth is environmental mastery. One should try to master the effects are in and around him or her. So the mastery over the environment, the surrounding circumstances is very important factor for psychological well-being or one's development or enjoying happiness. Similarly, autonomy and positive relations with others are also very crucial factors. So these 6 factors as stated by Carol Deep is very important in psychological well-being and is repeatedly discussed and practiced by most of the scientists and other persons. I have done extensive research on psychological well-being of employees and have observed various dimensions of psychological well-being, and I have categorized 3 different levels as determinants of psychological well-being, which determines the development of psychological well-being in individuals, which incorporates very relevant and important factors related to life. First is that at an individual level, second is organizational level, and third is social level. So in the individual level, 4 factors I have found that these factors are very important. One is agreeableness. One must be agreeable to people, one must trust people. The more one trusts people, the more he or she becomes happy and contented. But it has certain aspects, because by giving too much of trust, one sometimes gets deceived and then the trust level goes down. So it should be very smart mass trust. Second, conscientiousness. One should be objective oriented, that yes, one must have goals, and one must be very serious to fulfill his or her goals. So once they do that, they become very happy. Even if they don't reach that level of fulfillment of goal achievement, they become happy in the process also by doing many things. Then third is optimism. One must be optimistic. One must think that yes, he or she can do these things, and if one thinks that yes, he can do, if one can dream that yes, this he or she want, they will get it. That comes on the law of attraction. And then resiliency. Resiliency means even if you fail, you think that yes, you can do it. Again, you try, use double force, and you will be getting more than double results. So 4 factors in individual are very important. One is agreeableness, second is conscientiousness, and third is optimism, and fourth is resilience. Similarly, in organizational levels, there are many, but we will discuss only say two factors here. One is job enrichment, and other is organizational culture. So one person who is involved in a particular job, if he or she finds that job enrichment scope is there, they can get different types of jobs, and they can utilize their inherent qualities, and they can by the process develop their qualities, so they become happy and they engage themselves very well on the job. Similarly, organizational culture. If the culture of the organization is that they support employee development, they support organizational development in the thinking that yes, in the process of employee development, organizational development will be there. Certainly people will be happy and organization will also be happy. So social aspects. Third is social aspect. Here I feel that these two factors are very important. One is work-family conflict, and other is work-family culture. So one must think that work-family conflict plays a very crucial role. What is work-family conflict? Time is very limited for everybody. If one gives too much of time to family, they cannot give too much of time to workplace, and if they give too much of time to work, they cannot give too much of time to family. So thing is that it must have a proper balance, it must have a proper match, and everybody's interest of workplace and interest of family, both must be catered to very seriously, and thinking the best match will bring happiness in the home, and everybody will be happy, and a happy mind will always be productive, and that will be good for the organization. So work-family balance is very much important, and the culture also should be like that family should support the person to go for work at right time, and workplace also, organization also should see that nobody does overwork, or they return to work home happily, and again on the same day they come to workplace with a happy mood. So this way it gives a lot of development for the organization, and as well as it helps the society also to develop, because the happy worker always supports the society and do a lot of job for social development also. So the psychological well-being affects three important areas. What we have found that if it is properly taken care, the outcome is, one side is determinant, other side is what outcome. Outcome is very, very important in three areas. Mental health of the employees are taken care, they become very inspired, they become very enthusiastic to do a lot of good jobs. Second, that employee engagement level at the organization level, employee engagement level increases, which is very crucial nowadays. If you see the employee engagement level, even in very high-fi factories, which are in the 500 Fortune companies list, they also feel that employee engagement level is not up to the mark. 50% of employee engagement level is very high, and it is very, very difficult to come across at that level. So that means what? That means that employee engagement, in employee engagement level, there is a lot of work can be done. And employees are not adequately engaged. If not adequately engaged, that means neither the organization is getting the benefit, nor the employee is getting the benefit. And in the meantime, the society also is getting deprived. So we must all try to improve the employee engagement, and that can be done by developing the psychological well-being of employees. Similarly, social involvement will be there once the employee is happy and they are engaged. So social capital will increase. So all these three areas are very important. It is very much required to take care of employees' psychological well-being, which not only caters to personal development, but also organizational development as well as the social capital improvement. So care for social psychological well-being, care for social development, care for individual development, care for organizational development. On one aspect of, by putting emphasis on one aspect, that is psychological well-being, people's psychological well-being, and that must be on top priority. So care for psychological well-being on top priority. Thank you. Best wishes to you all.